Oh, hey, welcome to the Black Pill. I was just thinking about you. Today, let's review Starfish and Coffee by Veronica Callisto. The subtitle I can't say until at least a minute into the video for the algorithms. It's obscene, but good. Um, this is about the use of power. Callisto's a local writer. We've met a few times. I think she's an absolute mensch. So this is a superhero story. I don't usually do superhero stories, but the premise is sufficiently interesting that I dove in on this one anyway. Our protagonist is struck by a falling star or something. It's not really entirely clear. Thereafter, her chest area glows and fascinates people. Like she can show people, and they'll like that, and become fascinated. She also learns she's more or less bulletproof and immune to fascination effects from other superheroes, supervillains, technology. Um, Good writing. I read really slow, so this one took me about 3 weeks to finish. It'd take you probably much less than that. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time. I even expanded my reading hours a little so I could get through it. Most important is this really strong feminist writing. Uh, okay, are we a minute in? Yeah, minute 30. It's probably safe to say sparkle tits. The character's sort of informal superhero name is Sparkle Tits, and I'll just say Sparkles from now on. It's easier. Sparkles is the only woman in this universe ever to have superpowers. She faces a little chauvinism from gangsters, politicians, a little bit from inside the superhero union. More than anything, she offers a critique of the use of power, refusing to be pushed around but at the same time refusing to respond in kind. I'm an existential psychologist. The institutional use of power concerns me greatly. We have this big overlap, as does the use of personal power. Existential psychology is all about preserving the agency of the client. I've written before about the meaning of this in everyday life. Spider-Man famously learns in episode 1 of like every reboot that power is responsibility. To me, the only responsible use of power is to give it away, equalize it, refuse it, or refuse to use it. Callisto, at least in this story, is the only person who ever outwardly seemed to agree with me about this, and this is feminism. The point of feminism isn't to wrest power from male dominated cultures and then wield the power as men have. That's the story that Rush Limbaugh told on AM radio for 20 years. No, the point is to equalize power, to increase agency, to free people. Women and men suffer under patriarchy. Rape culture hurts everybody, and sexual violence is almost the least part of rape culture. Authoritarianism won't fall to the rise of new authoritarians. So, Sparkles can fascinate people with her breasts, but she's modest. She doesn't want to flash them around. The victims wouldn't remember seeing anything, but she would remember them having seen. That's such a wonderful metaphor for how to treat people. Like modesty aside, uh, let's say you could hurt someone and get away with it. Does that make it right? All right. Sparkles never initiates violence. She always tries to be reasonable, even deferential. She treads carefully, and the more powerful she becomes, the more carefully she treads. We're seeing this insurgence in fiction of immoral, superpowered people, starting with the anti-heroes, right? But becoming outright evil, Brightburn, or corrupt, the boys. Uh, I wrote this all a long time ago, and it certainly predates Brightburn and the boys. Anyway, this probably reflects what's happening in our politics, where billionaires and our political leadership are often evil and corrupt right out in the open. right in front of our very eyes. Lewis Black used to say, during the Bush administration, before it got to this point, even, um, politicians and lobbyists have always been picking each other, but now they're doing it right out there in the open where we can see them. You know? Anyway, um, the people we trusted turn out not to be trustworthy, and they're utterly bulletproof. This is a cynical but perhaps accurate narrative. The sparkly Grierianto offers an antidote to this growing discontent, a feminist critique of power and its uses. Congratulations to Veronica Calista. Black Pill out.